about having the feeling and not knowing what the thought is. So not so much about, oh, I have all these thoughts, now I have this feeling. More like I have this feeling, and I don't know what the thoughts are that are causing it.
It's a really good beginning place, though, isn't it? Esther would say that, and does even now from time to time, where she'll say, oh, that doesn't feel good. What was I thinking? And if she catches it early enough, she can usually trace the genesis of it. And if you don't, now you've launched a new desire. I want to know what that's about. So now it will be shown to you. Think about what your question is. I want to know what my stumbling block is. I want to know what thoughts I'm thinking that are bogus and that are in my way of something I want. And you'll figure it out, and usually pretty fast.
So like part of it's there now. It's this deep pit.
All right.
Almost like nervous, like I'm trying to find.
We can tell you what that is. That nervous feeling, that concern about what others are thinking, is about wanting to get it right. See, that's what humaning does. You think that you've got to get it right and that you want to be perfect, instead of understanding that you are a constant eternal work in progress. So you can't get it wrong, and you never get it done, and the reason you can't get it wrong is because it's never done. So it's something about that. Were you feeling it before you got up here?
Yeah, I mean, I feel it in my life often. If I just, in some ways, I go away. It's a spinny, like I.
Do you feel it more when you're with others or when you are by yourself?
More by myself. I feel like a compass that's just spinning, and I have no idea what direction to go.
If you're feeling it more when you're by yourself, then it's simply contradictory thoughts within you. It's you having desires that your thoughts are contradicting. So as that feeling is present now, just ask yourself, what thoughts are a match to this feeling? What thoughts that I commonly think feel like this? Because you felt it before and you're feeling it now, so you can make an association with what kinds of thoughts feel like this. What are they?
I don't know which direction. I feel like a compass that's spinning. No, that's the thought, though.
It doesn't matter what the subject is. So the thought is, I'm lost. I don't know what to do. I don't understand my guidance. I can't feel my guidance. I'm not sure what my guidance is telling me.
Yep, those all resonate.
So if you can't tell what your guidance is telling you, what desire is being born out of that? I want to be more aware of my guidance. I want to be more aware of it in the earlier subtle stages. You know, there's sort of good news going on here, because the fact that you can't pinpoint it means there's not a tremendous amount of momentum. If there were more momentum, there would be more examples that you could give to us. But because you can't give any examples, there must not be a lot of momentum to this.
Well, I'm not sure. I mean, I drop to my knees sobbing at times. It's actually quite a large fear. It feels like a pit in my gut.
Well, stay with it then and give it some definition. What's it about?
It feels alone. It feels scared. It feels abandoned. It feels left.
It feels like the absence of your inner being.
Feels like the absence of my inner being.
So do you acknowledge that you have an inner being?
I do.
And do you believe that your inner being is aware of you?
I do believe that.
And do you believe that your inner being is a fan of yours, that your inner being adores you, that your inner being has your back, that you and your inner being are in this together? Do you believe that?
I believe I want to believe.
Yeah.
But maybe I'm not sure that maybe I don't trust it.
You don't believe it. You don't believe it because you can't see it and hear it and smell it and taste it and touch it. You can see the humans, the fickle humans, but you can't see your inner being. You can only feel your relationship with your inner being. So here it is. If your inner being did not exist, you could not feel that feeling of its absence. If there were no inner being knowing you, loving you, and calling you home, then you would not feel any resistance as you don't go. But the fact that you feel resistance as you don't go is evidence of the existence of your inner being.
Where am I going? Where's going?
You're going to clarity, you're going to enthusiasm, you're going to love, you're going to good ideas, you're going to the path of least resistance, you're going to places where things you want are, you're going to more prosperity and more clarity and more wonderful things. You're going to where everything you've ever asked for, whether you've been consciously aware of it or not, is. That's where you're going, because that's where your inner being is, and that's what your inner being is calling you to.
I want to go there.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. And not going there sucks. Not going there feels awful. And so acknowledging that your inner being exists, which you just did. So now never again will you have that feeling that you won't know. I'm thinking a thought in opposition to what my inner being knows about this. And as you start knowing that, you'll start catching yourself in a thought of not appreciating something, or a thought of blame about something, whether it's someone else or yourself. You'll catch yourself in the thought, and then it won't feel like this big mystery anymore. You'll realize I'm thinking in opposition to my true self. And you know, it's not just the you that was you the day you were born. It's the you that has been evolving ever since. You have become, through your life experience, this evolved, expanded, powerful, attracting being. And when you stand in a place where you're not letting yourself move toward that, then you don't feel so good. In the same way that a question and an answer are on the same stick, but the vibration of the question and the vibration of the answer are different. A problem and a solution are on the same stick, because as you created the problem, you created the solution. As you explored contrast, you have created the expansiveness of your inner being. If you hadn't created a huge expansiveness, you not letting yourself live that expansiveness wouldn't bother you. If somebody called you on the telephone and said, hello, you don't know me, I'm just calling you to tell you I will never call you again, you would say, mother? No, you would say, thank you very much. You wouldn't feel any negative emotion about it. But if someone you really care about were to say that to you, you'd feel something. And so you're feeling, you're not letting your inner being into your experience. That's what you're feeling. That's what it is. You're feeling your guidance, and your guidance is talking to you about a whole lot of things, but it's your guidance that you're feeling. And what it's always saying is what you're thinking right now and what your inner being is thinking right now about the thing that you're thinking about, because your inner being is always thinking about the thing you're thinking about. No matter what thing you're thinking about, your inner being is always thinking about the thing that you're thinking about. In every moment of your life experience, whatever your inner being is thinking about is the thing you're thinking about every single time. Every single time. Do you get that? What you're thinking about is what your inner being is thinking about. But your opinion may differ from your inner being's. For example, you might not be liking you, and your inner being adores you. So then you don't feel good. You might not be liking someone else, but your inner being does. So then you don't feel so good. Or you might be reveling in the fantasticness of something, which your inner being is also doing. So you don't feel the emptiness, you feel the fullness of your inner being. You feel those shivers, or that feeling of warmth or love, that feeling of appreciation. Yes?
So what's the purpose of the resistance? Like, what's the purpose of the resistance of not going?
Well, we want to step back from that question just a little bit. The purpose of contrast is that it puts the eternalness in eternity. So resistance must exist if there can be wanted and the absence of it. It's like light and dark. You need the two in order to see anything. Without a combination of both, you couldn't focus at all. And so the purpose of the contrast is to sharpen your ability to focus. Do you mean, what's the purpose of my negative emotion, or what's the purpose of the thing that causes my negative emotion? Are you asking, what's the purpose of negative emotion, or what's the purpose of resistance? You said resistance. The purpose of resistance is, in every particle of the universe, there is wanted and unwanted. It just must be. Otherwise, there can be no ability to discern and no ability to expand.
And so then the purpose of negative emotion is
to indicate the contrast so that you can make decisions. Really good.